It's a new year of trading, guys. It's a brand new year. So, no matter what happened last year, if you succeeded, if you failed, whatever, if you hit your goals, if you didn't, it's a brand new year. So this year, you know, the focus is those clean setups, right? Clean setups only, risk management, the usual stuff we preach, but this time it's actually time to stay disciplined with it. So I'm gonna start off the year by saying, everyone should have their own kind of goals. So me personally, I'm back in my swing bag, right? I'm back in my swing bag. That's gonna be my priority, swing trading. It's gonna be over a few days, sometimes over a weekend, sometimes over a month or two, right? I've already mapped out my plays for the year. I've done a lot of research the past few days. I'm in my swing bag, right? And I think for every single one of you, you need to find out what kind of trader you are. Are you scalping? Are you day trading? Are you swinging? Does your 9 to 5 stop you from day trading? So you have to swing.
Um,
Anyway, so we need to make sure that we're all in our own bag
what?
and you decide what you want to do and then take it from there. Okay. So first of all, we're expecting like one or two rate cuts this year. I think, if you look at how the rate cuts came in last year, it helped push the markets. And when the markets pushed, we saw what that did for the overall S&P, the Nasdaq, the Russell, all that kind of stuff. Personally, again, I'm not relying on just the rate cuts to have a good year. I'm not relying on them to do my business in the markets. And
Oh,
even
Cows
last year,
Mirage, y'all
you
knew
had
it?
a lot of people saying to themselves, oh yeah, okay, like I'm gonna
Oh,
rely
wait.
on AI
Did I
companies to
say it
do their
wrong?
business.
Oh, I'm
Companies
sorry. I
shout
think I
AI,
said it
they're gonna
wrong.
just trade based off what companies
I
say
meant to
that way.
say
And personally, again,
I'm
I
not
think if you're doing that,
pregnant,
you're
I'm
gonna struggle
fat.
this year. And if you purely try and trade off that, then again, you're gonna struggle because companies are not just gonna shout AI and then you see the markets flying. That's not gonna happen this year. I guarantee you that, we saw what Palantir did the last few weeks, the last few months, and just because of that, again, you see how it's sold off the last few days. Again, you can't just shout AI, you can't just shout what you're doing with AI and then expect to rally, based on that. So let's start with the big boys. It's going to be oil, right? XOM, CVX, OXY, MRO. Let's be honest, right? This here is a clean setup, right? Last Wednesday we identified it was coming down to the EMAs after breaking the highs, and now it's bumping, right? Let's be honest. If you didn't get in oil Friday, it's probably going to be running tomorrow because of what's happened with the Venezuelan president getting captured and him and his wife getting captured. If you're not familiar with the news by now, you should definitely be familiar. But anyway, go look up what's going on in Venezuela. But long story short, Trump pretty much went there and he captured their president, Maduro, and yeah, him and his wife, and I think they've taken them and arrested them. So yeah, Trump has kind of highlighted that he wants, pure access to oil in Venezuela. So this is, trust me, this we're gonna see it tomorrow or maybe tonight, maybe in a few hours. We're gonna see this up at 125, 130, maybe even more than that because again, Exxon is oil, right? So CVX, Exxon, OXY, look, these they had a huge day Friday. Great. We missed it, but like I said, CVX obviously had the strongest candle. Oxy had the biggest move. I think it was up 3%. Yeah, 3%. Oxy was up 3%. And it looks like it's just getting started though. So we might break the 200 EMA. We might trend higher. Again, me, I'm back in my swim bag. So personally, we're taking this higher, right? This isn't done yet. And again, I think tomorrow it might be a bit too late. It might jump up overnight. But if it's not up, I might still swing this Oxy. I will still swing at Oxy. And the worst thing I can do is put a stop loss just to make sure I protect my capital no matter what happens. Okay. Exxon personally, if you zoom out on Exxon, right? If you look at the weekly, monthly charts and all that kind of stuff, right? You'll see it's up there. It's already up there. So if you're not trying to trade Exxon, right? I have shares of Exxon, so it's different. I'm a shareholder, so I'm still, I'm still holding shares either way. If you're not trying to trade this because it's already up there, go to again a CVX, right? Go to an Oxy. Go to the ones which are not all the way up, right? Oxy can still jump up to 60s and 70s, right? Exxon might be at the highs. It's still going to go higher, I believe. Again, I think it can still jump $5 or $10 this week. But if you don't want to trade something that's at the very highs, this is the monthly chart. Go to the CVXs, go to the Oxys, right? Even CVX only has what? Maybe five, like $10 before it hits the highs. But again, check out Oxy. You still got $30 before you hit the highs. So again, this year, like I said, focus on those clean setups. If you want to get a piece of something, then yeah, get a piece and don't say to yourself, oh, it's already gone. Wednesday, again, we were looking at this Wednesday. We looked at the daily chart and we said to ourselves, it's pulling back to the EMAs from the highs. But we also said to ourselves, well, it's been running, it needs to come down a bit more. Nope. Bullish engulfing candle, exploded out, and then, just took off. All right. Let's talk about Tesla and Palantir. Tesla and Palantir, we identified both of these opportunities in the last week for puts. Now you can see how it played out, right? Let's start with the weekly candles. Horrible weekly candles for both Tesla and Palantir. Specifically Tesla, right? We hit all three price targets to the downside this week. And I think Tesla can still come down lower, but realistically, at the same time, we are at a strong level of support, right? We're at a strong level of support. If we draw a trend line from the lows, maybe that could help us establish, what we can expect from this. So we could either do it like this, but again, you want to look out on a bigger time frame. So I'm gonna zoom out a little bit more on Tesla, and then maybe take it from these lows, right? And if I take it from these lows, right, we might have a bit more room to fall down with Tesla, right? Oh, didn't even connect. All right, cool. So yeah, Tesla bounces off the trend line here, heads higher, come back to test this trend line. Or we have a second trend line now where Tesla might fall down another $13 before we bounce. Either way, I'm going to be looking to take Tesla call soon when I see a confirmed sign of reversal. Something like this. It could be a double bottom off this level. It could be bouncing off my trend line and starting to rise. It could be a bullish engulfing. But whatever it is, I'm going to be looking to swing Tesla call soon when the time is right. At this point in time, I think it can still come down to 426, 412, sell off before we head higher. But again, if you were swinging Tesla last week, right? You saw what we did. We took Tesla puts on Wednesday, right? Wednesday was where what was it? Right, 31st. So Wednesday, Tesla was at 454. We took Tesla puts. Now, whatever this was, this crazy open, the only mistake we made is we didn't let the hourly close. If we let the hourly close, you would have seen huge bearish engulfing, wiped out the previous seven candles and sold off. Okay, that's why I say I'm back in my swim bag. I'm looking at the higher time frames. I'm focused on what, less noise and more cleaner setups. Okay, Tesla can still come down lower. Again, 426, 412. But once I see it start to reverse, I'm going to be looking to swing calls back up to my levels of 449 and 458. Simple. Palantir, likewise, similar story. Palantir, it was at 187 when I said, we broke my support. We could be selling off to the next couple levels of support. Exactly what we did. Look at the hourly. Bearish engulfing on Friday as well, sold it off. Both of these, Tesla and Palantir, all you needed was like 80, $90, and you're coming out with 1,300, 1,400 based off swing trading. Now, not every trade is going to be like that, but when we identify something in a chat, we put the chart in the chat hella time saying this could sell off, to these levels, and it's exactly what it did. If you get your technical analysis on point this year, you're gonna make some crazy swing plays, and I guarantee you that. Right? Palantir right now, you see the death cross right at 9, crossing the 21 to the downside. You see the bearish engulfing. You see that it could fall off a little bit more, right? I think right now, again, we're at a strong level of support for Palantir, but realistically, we can keep selling off lower. Now, I think this level before, if I look back, this level is pretty. So we gapped above that level, so there might be a gap to fill. Anyway, so when I look at this level, I'm like, this is a key level of support. But again, I'm just going to wait and see what it does. If it does start to ride, then we take it up to 181, 187, right? I think Palantir might bounce here just because it was a consolidation spot last couple of times actually. So it could, bounce here. But again, if it does start selling off any of these days, it could start dropping to 153. If you look out a bit long, like if you look at higher time frame, you can also just see that wherever we topped out, you probably want to mark those, just identify those levels, mark them as well. Right, here's one level. I've already marked that level. But when you're looking at charts, when you look at your own naked chart, mark the levels where we topped out at, mark the levels where we sold off at, mark the levels where we reversed. And yeah, I think, there's some money to be made here, right? If it bounces, it starts rallying again. I think there's some money to be made here. Don't forget, Palantir had an amazing year last year, right? Palantir started the year, we were at $67, 67, right? We ran all the way up to $207, right? All of us was in Palantir at least one point, and if you're not, you were in shares like me. Obviously, we traded calls with it. We hit 500%, 700%. We did all that with Palantir. I think the same could happen within the first few months of this year. Palantir, again, I think After this heavy sell-off, retail selling off, institutions selling off, I think once it finds some stability, we'll see another run like this. This was a $45 run. I think another one's loading for Palantir. We just got to be patient. Again, I'm gonna see what it does at this level. If it continues selling off, it might come down to 153. It might come down to even the 151. Sorry, the 200 EMA at 151. But again, from here, this is a strong level. I know it's a level of consolidation spot, previous consolidation spot. We might consolidate or we might just bounce back up straight away. So watch Palantir as well. Then Alibaba, right? We swung Alibaba last week. Now, this was a great swing trade. This one was a bit tough, I'll be honest, because we got in on Tuesday. Wednesday we came down and we broke out. So, what's next for Alibaba, right? We broke out the trend line. Our calls are up over 210% right now. I'm still in some calls, took some profits, but I'm still in some calls. What's next for Alibaba, right? I think, well, from where we are, we might, if we can hold this EMA, we might go touch these 164 levels. I've got calls that expire this week and I've got calls that expire the following week, January 16th. I do think Alibaba's got more room in the tank. I think Baidu news has helped it. If you look at Baidu calls went, I think it was like 15,000% or something. I'm gonna drop it in the Discord in a sec. Baidu calls went insane. I'm drop it in the Discord because I had a look at it about 20 minutes ago. Because comparing Baidu and Baba, right? Baidu calls went insane, and I think Baba can still continue, right? Baba can still continue. Let me just drop the Baidu and in fact, it was 41,000. Never mind. But I just put it in the Discord right now, so look in trade discussions. But yeah, Baba, I think we can go test these levels up, these highs up here now that we've broken out the trend line, right? We marked the trend line last week in our call in our stocks to watch. We took the calls on Tuesday, and you see Baba Wednesday to Friday. The gap up overnight. The calls themselves from Wednesday to Friday were up like 520%. I put it in the group gains, my calls. But after we were down, of course, we didn't claim the whole 500%. But yeah, either way, I think Baba can continue running. I think there's still got room in the tank. It's funny because if this is a reversal spot again, I'll mark this level and then obviously Baba could go, back up to 170s, 180s. Who knows? We'll see what it does this year. But we're back above the 9 EMA. We're back above the 21 EMA on the daily time frame. The weekly is starting to get exciting because we've got back-to-back green weeks. We've got a bullish engulfing, and yeah, we also had the hammer candle a couple weeks ago. But yeah, Baba right now. I see someone asking for the chat code. 467989 is the passcode. Yeah, Baba looks good now. Baba looks like it's starting to rally. A few of you had asked me to review that one last week, and I said, yeah, we could swing calls. We got in the calls, and now we're getting paid. Like I said, I've took some profits, but I'm still holding some calls. I think we can squeeze the juice out of this one again. We're in our swing bag this year, And if you're not in your swing bag, that's okay. You can take profits and move. If you take it as a day trade, that's fine as well. But me, I'm in my swing bag. So yeah, Baba is doing its thing. Baidu, yeah, that really exploded because of some bullish news. I believe they have announced that they got some IPO, like they got a chip unit IPOing in Hong Kong, I believe. Um, let's just quickly check the news. Yeah, Baidu sold 15.18% after announcing its chip unit plans to IPO in Hong Kong. Yeah. So it's a plan, yeah, yeah. But yeah, Baidu really exploded out. On another day, we would have took Baidu instead of Baba, but we didn't look at the setup of Baidu and say, yeah, that was better than Baba. Baba was better for me because of the trend line I've drawn, and this is the one I trade more. But yeah, Baba jumped 6%, Baidu 15%. And of course, yeah, the Baidu calls, that's the thing about option, right? The Baidu calls, they went from $20, I think, to $430, right? So if you bought five of those, putting $100 in, you're coming with a few racks there. So that's pretty nice. But yeah, moving on. AMD, because we're speaking about trend lines, right? AMD, we analyzed this one last week. It broke. We drew this trend line last week again, right? That's back to back now. Baba and AMD. We've drawn these trend lines last week. This one I didn't take the calls on, but I've seen it break out, and now I want to see if we can go test 229. So I'm definitely watching AMD calls. I don't know if you're not an AMD bull, it's going to be a tough year for you because AMD is going to do some incredible things this year, right? I've got the 260 price target. I think we're going to well outperform that 260 price target. AMD is gonna sort of do things, that we haven't seen them do before. So again, AMD, I'm bullish, but first level is 229. I think we can get there this week. I will look to see, if there's any pullbacks before we head higher. I don't like always jumping in a stock when it's already gapped up, right? It jumped up $10. But we have got a a golden cross forming on the daily time frame with the 921 EMAs. The weekly, we've got a bullish engulfing candle there. The 4 hour, it's looking strong as well. So, we've got the inverted hammer, long wicks. AMD looks good though. AMD looks good to me. Again, we broke out my trend line. We broke out the consolidation in between the EMAs. That's a double whammy, and it looks like we've got the inverted hammer on the daily. Looks like we could be heading higher. So AMD is definitely on my watch for swings to the upside. And of course, if we talk about AMD, we've got to talk about SoFi. That's another one of my favorite stocks. So SoFi, I'm probably not looking to trade this week, probably not. Just because again, I think there's a lot of consolidation around this spot. But this year, SoFi is going to be a big winner. Just like AMD, SoFi is going to be a big winner. So I've got my eyes on it for this year. $34 is going to be the first price target for SoFi. But why I've got SoFi, why I highlighted it right now is because we broke the red streak. 4 red weeks in a row, and we finally broke that streak. So do watch SoFi. I think the next couple of weeks we start seeing it gain some momentum. It was nice. It jumped 5% on Friday. Finished off with a hammer candle, right? They tried to push price down, but we ended up closing up here, which was good. The 4 hours is quite interesting because we've got the back-to-back green candles here. We're starting to break out my zone. We're starting to break out my zone. And if we do break out this zone, then it could be on for SoFi. But I'm going to wait for SoFi. I'm going to wait before I touch SoFi. Again, I think contracts are cheap. That's nice. You got to look out 5, 6, 7 months for SoFi for calls, probably $34 calls. Um, but yeah, the fact that we ran up so high during 2025 with SoFi and we're pulling back makes me not worried about it. If you look at the 4 hour time frame, we've held above the 200 EMA pretty much, and every time we fell below, we've claimed it. So it's good. We really pushed during 2025, and again, from $9 in April to 27 now, that's a 3x. I'm not worried about SoFi, right? It's consolidated a little bit. People have been saying, oh, it's bearish, it's this and that. Nah, look, we came right back. We bounced right back again, and yeah, I think SoFi got some for us this year. And then I'm going to look at these contracts, right? This is a specific play. You probably want to note this down right now if you've got a pen and paper or you've got whatever, your notes on your iPad or whatever you're using. So Webull, okay? Webull, I'm seriously looking at a $10 strike for July. Now, I need Webull to start breaking above the 21 EMA, and I want Webull to show us something. I want to see the 9 cross over the 21 as well, and I want to see Webull start pushing for that $10.23 price target. These contracts only cost like $130 if you get like mid-July expiry, like July 17th. But we finally saw us break the downtrend. Is it confirmation of reversal? I'm not sure yet. I look at the higher time frames, I look at the daily, and I say we're still stuck below the 9. I look at the weekly, and I say, wow, we're still way below the EMAs. So I'm going to wait on Webull. But I do think, just looking at the 4 hour chart, we could start to get busy. Now, last time we were at this spot, just below the 21, above the 9, we sold off. Let's see what happens this time. Can we finally break out? Because we're going to retest the 21 EMA. But I do like Webull. I think it's a low risk, high reward potential. And I think if you're not in this one, remember two things. Two things, remember these two things. One, this was a $62 stock last year. It really was. Yes, it was a $62 stock last year. Let me show you. Let me show you this. This was a $62 stock last year. How do you reset this stuff? All right, cool. Right? In fact, I said $62. It was up at $75. Okay. So that's point one. Point two, you saw what Hood did last year, right? Fellow platform Hood. Hood ran from, where were we? Right, 25, 27, $30 last year. We ran from $30 up to 150. Okay. I'm not saying we was going to run up to 150. No way. No, I'm not saying that. I am saying we can go easily test 1023 by 6 months from now. I am saying if we break that and we continue higher, we can start go see 14, 15, right? I am saying that we can double up as a stock from where we are right now. Yes, right? And it might not go reclaim the $70 highs from last year. It might not go reclaim the IPO price. But guess what? Webull from here is low risk, high reward. And again, I'm in my swing bag. So if I get a bunch of July contracts for Webull or June contracts for Webull, it doesn't mean you have to. But you can easily play on a day trade if you see it pumping intraday like it did Friday. You can do what you want to do. But me personally, I'm probably gonna get some shares of this. $8 is low risk, high reward potential. And then I'm definitely going to get some leaps on that. Or not even leaps anymore because we're in 2026, but I'll get some contracts 6 months out. Okay. I've been here before with SoFi when it was $6. I've been here before with Palantir when it was $14. I'm not worried about, getting some shares of Webull at $8. I've been here before with Lemonade, right? It's not these, even AMD. These situations, these scenarios are not unknown to me. Yeah, it's way below its IPO price. Yes, it's way below its highs from last year. Yes, it's way below a lot of things. It's okay. Low risk, high reward. We'll see what happens with Webull, but I'm pretty confident in it. And then I want to talk about you. I want to talk about you. Or sorry, you. How many U's is it? There we go. Four U's. You. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So look, why I want to talk about you. Look at the weekly chart. We were stuck in between the EMAs for about 5 weeks. We finally closed above the 9-day EMA, the daily time frame now. You can see this great candle, 15% jump on Friday. We broke above the EMAs and now we're back to those levels where we reversed back in December last month. I want to see if you can get busy. If you can get busy, we're going to see something nice, right? We'll see us maybe run up to $23, 24, 25. Let's see. I like you though. I think this is what I want to see. This is a very similar chart to EOSE right now. Very similar chart to EOSE, right? And I like these kind of opportunities because again, when it does continue, when we get we get more volume, we get more buyers, and we see this, continue to push. These are the trades that make us those silly returns, those 400, 500% return. This is it. We've seen this before with EOSE. We traded this last year. We've seen this before with you. I actually did not trade this, but I saw others in the group trade it. Nicole was smacking this one. So again, from where we are right now, back at this level, $16 level, back in October, you saw how we continued. All right, just identify this. Let me just map this out for you. This is what we did last time we was at this level. Let's see if we got something similar on the cards. We'll see. But I like you. I really do. 15% jump on Friday is giving me some hope in this one. And then, EOSC, if we just want to find a price like for EOSC, you got $14, you got 16.11. We closed above the 9 and 21. Nice strong bullish candle on Friday. And then I think, whew, yeah, if EOSC can get busy, this is a very strong one. We traded it last year again. We'll see what it does. But realistically, like if we talk about the overall markets, right? I know you want to see SPY, you want to see QQQ, all that stuff. People don't care about all these stuff. They want to see SPY, they want to see SPY, QQQ, SPX, all that. If we look at those, right? We look at those. We ran up so much in 2025 that we were kind of due some pullback to start this year. So that's why I'm also leaning a bit cautious, right? I did trade IWM on Friday, managed to double my money, but realistically, you might not see me trade the indexes as much until we see some pullback, right? If we look at the VIX, it's at the lowest it's been since when? August, maybe? Nah, in fact, well, last month, funny enough. So, oh, no, 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 hold on. This is a weekly chart. Let me pull up the daily chart. Right, so we're at the lowest we've been since still, like September. Yeah, like September. So we're at the lowest we've been since like September. Um, Realistically, it's low volatility in the markets in the last few weeks. This is part of the reason, right? Um, so we're at the lowest the VIX has been since September. I think I showed you guys the fear and greed earlier. We're neutral, right? So we're neutral. So it's kind of like this is like the cautious territory. The extreme greed territory is where where you should be scared. The fear territory is where you should start to be greedy. But the neutral is like where you should just be cautious. Um, Maybe sell some options, maybe some, secure some premium by that way. But yeah, like I said, we ran up so much in 2025, like a lot. Like we ran up really high in 2025. And all that means realistically is that we're due some pullback and some sell-off. Again, I think personally. Um, the funny thing is the Nasdaq, right? If the Nasdaq typically in January, it has a 70% win rate. So Nasdaq is strong in January. So since the Nasdaq is typically bullish, I think any kind of shorting, any kind of selling off will get eaten up and get bought. But again, it is who knows? It's all speculation. We have to see, we have to look, we have to see what we see and then, trade based off that. But I'm just saying, I'm just giving you, some insight. Nasdaq is typically bullish in January, right? Um, tech stocks that might be, your place to check them out. Tech stocks, the Microns, the Nvidias, you might have to check them out, see what the Intels are doing. Because again, the Nasdaq is pretty bullish in January, right? Intel ran 6% Friday. MU ran, I think, yeah, 10%. Jeez. So yeah, Nasdaq likes to be bullish during January. TSM 5%. But yeah, let me see. I had about four other stocks that I wanted to watch. GE. So I like GE. Look at this daily candle. So the daily chart. This is what we like to see. This is like our prime setup, right? We got the golden cross on the EMAs, the 9 lower crossing over the 21, the higher time frame, higher EMA. We got the pullback to the EMA, the 9 EMA, and we got the breakout. So it could be time for GE to start showing some more strength. And if you look at the daily chart, you will see we're quite high up. So we would probably need another kind of pullback, either to the previous high, or the swing highs around here. We'll see. But yeah, GE just kind of caught my eye. Duolingo caught my eye for different reasons though. So Duolingo finally started to break out during December and then sold off, right? It continued selling off, and we might go see 166 now. If we break 166, I think 145 could be on the cards. It could drop hard from here. It had a rough year. After I think like middle of the year, right? Yeah, May, it sold off heavily and kept selling off further. But I mean, personally, I don't think Duolingo has actually got much competition. So I'm struggling to see, why it's been dying this hard. But yeah, again, my next level of support is the previous level of previous reversal level right here. So let's see if we get down to that level. Yeah, it's just again something just to keep your eye on. And then Dollar General. So you remember we looked at this one back in November. I don't know if you guys remember, someone had asked me to break it down, and I said it had a really nice double bottom pattern, right, coming off the support level, and it looked very bullish. Now, I didn't even get a piece of Dollar General, but we're at the point where it ran $45 and it's come down again a little bit the last few weeks. So again, you look at the 4 hour, you see we're starting to build up again. Dollar General can go and see new highs once again. This was my prime setup when it was back here, 12th December, or back here, 2nd of December. Now it's like it has ran, but it can continue higher. So again, something just to keep on your back of your mind, like the ones I just showed you, Duolingo, General Electric, Dollar General. These are like the special mentions, like the honorable mention stocks right now. So yeah, just keep your eye on DG as well. It could still go higher. It's just making its like steady uptrend higher, and it's just grinding its way up. And then I think Caterpillar had a really strong, yeah, Caterpillar had a strong bounce as well. The weekly chart broke out this, I won't call it a downtrend. It's not a downtrend, but a pullback, right? Pullback, doji candle, inside bar, and then started to catapult out. Um, yeah, on Friday. So yeah, Caterpillar again, just kind of watch it. Probably head back up to 627, go test the highs this year. If you have enough money to buy shares, I think this is another strong company. Where everyone knows Caterpillar, right? Everyone's seen Caterpillar at least. If you're not familiar with Caterpillar, they do the machinery. And then Google. So actually, you know what? The next three, four stocks, I'll say, it's going to be Google, Amazon, Microsoft, UNH. So it's the big hitters, okay? Now, I'm gonna start with Google. We came down from the highs. We started this uptrend again, and I think it's got more room, like plenty more room to run more this year. It's not one that I would say I'm going to swing this week because again, I think it's been doing, a bit of slow movement as of late. The 4 hour chart has just shown me that we're at a previous, like not even resistance spot, like it's just a consolidation spot. That's all it is. Look at the hourly chart. You can kind of see, right? It's kind of, we finally broke out, came straight back down, started pushing our way up again. It's just, yeah. Google, I think this year is going to have a great year. I think even with, what they're doing with the Waymos, with the expansion, I think Google's going to go see 350, 360. I think Google will pump. But right now, I think, again, maybe by the end of January, you might see the move I want to see. But I'm just keeping it on my radar. Same with the other big hitters I mentioned, right? Look, Google has room to run. But same with the other big hitters I mentioned. I said Amazon. Now, Amazon, I think will do I think it will do numbers this year. I would like to see Amazon get up close to $300 this year. Again, I think right now, if I look at the weekly chart and I just give you a clearer view of the weekly chart, right? If I give you a clear view of the weekly chart, it's been real choppy. I think it's due, a breakout. I think it's due a breakout, but again, it's been choppy. So again, this is one of those stocks where probably like similar to like a Weeble, right? Right? That I am comfortable putting in some money and just letting it sit for, I don't know, however long it takes, 3, 4 months before we see it back back up there at 255 and stuff like that. As you guys remember, with the Amazon, with the outage, with the AWS outage last month, might be 2 months ago now, right? It's it is a company that's heavily relied on. You guys, I don't need to introduce you to Amazon. Amazon, you know what they do, right? You know about their ad services, you know about their AWS, you know about their e-commerce. I don't need to introduce you to Amazon, right? We all know what they do. Now, we just need to see if Wall Street are buying into this, if Wall Street think it's worth it buying into this. But personally, I will look at the $240 calls, probably for just around mid to end of next month, 240, 250s. And I think that should be enough time, a few weeks. But if it continues consolidating, again, I will wait. If I see it start showing some strength, more strength, then I'll happily get in. But look, these kind of pullbacks are killing the longer term contracts. This kind of pullback, right? 3, 4 days in a row, coming down to level of support. Those are killing the contracts if anyone's in calls. We was in calls back in December. I think it was actually around that time. Just killed because of this, right? Same here. Killed because of this. It's not showing me enough consistency yet, but like again, I'm still watching it. I still think, it's something for us for end of next month, mid end of next month. Then I said Microsoft and UNH, right? Those are my last two, and then get ready to start writing your stocks. So Microsoft has been a real disappointment. So even this one is holding SPY back a little bit. It's holding S&P 500 back a little bit. I think personally, I think it's undervalued right now. I think it's again another stock that's going to go touch 525, 540 this year. But right now, it's being very similar to Amazon. It's like almost like a sleeping giant that's just struggling to wake up. So we've come to this level. There's 472, this 472 level. We've come to this level so many times. We've wicked past it. We've come and closed at that level. I'm going to mark the level because it's clearly a key level. But I just want to see Microsoft get some green going. I want to see buyers stepping in. I want to see institutions stepping in. I want to see positive news from Microsoft. I want to see, this. I want to see this, act like it's supposed to do, and do what it did back here when it was, pushing and pushing and pushing. But yeah, Microsoft, I like this. I like this, but I'm just gonna wait for my entry. So we had a consolidation here. I'm gonna mark the consolidation because this is important as well, because this could be a key level to watch for. But Microsoft, right? I think, ooh, yeah, I'm just draw this across. Consolidation spot, okay? Taken from the daily time frame, the opens and closes of the daily time frame from mid to end of December. Let's see if we can go, first price target would be just to get us back up to 484. But yeah, Microsoft, again, just something to watch, something to keep your eye on. One of those plays where when the action does start to occur, you're going to see something like this, right? Look at that strong 5 day period. Look at that strong bounce. You're going to see Microsoft get busy. And that's what we all want to see. Okay. And then UNH, so United Health, it had one of the most eventful stories of last year. They took out the CEO, and yeah, United Health, right? This one was also when it gapped up because of Warren Buffett's bullish news. When was that? It was probably this one then. Yeah, it was back in August, right? It jumped up $60. People made dumb money on it. Now, again, I think me personally, I want to trade this one this year. I think it goes back up to nearly the 400s, right? Near the 200 EMA. But again, I'm just gonna be patient, right? Until it shows me that it's really gonna push, I'm not gonna touch it, right? It's consolidating, coming up, coming down. A lot of wiki action here. A lot of wiki action here. We should be actually able to see. I think yeah, markets. Let's see if it's up or down, right? It's probably down. This is just how UNH, it's already, so only down 60 cents. But yeah, either way, what I want to say here is UNH again, for this year, I'm eyeing it. I want to get a piece, like the people that got a piece here, they got a nice piece of the pie. I want a piece of the pie too when it starts to recover. Go test those swing lows from back in February last year. But yeah, if you look at UNH's monthly chart, you'll see how far this came down. It was up at $608, right? Last year, just last year. Yes, a year ago, it was up there. It was up there. So it's still got a long way to recover, and I think it can do that. I just got to be patient again, and yeah, that's it for me. So yeah, UNH, I'll watch it. We'll see. When it gets busy though, I know it's gonna get busy. And I know Wall Street likes this one. This is a Wall Street favorite. So yeah. All right, your favorite time. Drop those stocks to watch. Tell me what stocks you're watching. I'm gonna read them out. I'm gonna break them down, and we're gonna get busy with it. Oh, someone said, oh. Going Gusto said Exxon was taken off. Crazy. So Exxon. Oh wait, I could have looked here. Oh, I told you guys. I said 125, 130. I think it's already at 130. He showed us. See, this is why we swing trade. He's gonna make crazy money tomorrow. He's gonna make crazy money tomorrow. You said Google. I just did Google. I did ASTS now. Oh no, I didn't do ASTS. Ooh, Exxon though. That's what I tell you. I'm in my swing buy. Exxon. It's got ooh, ASTS. Oh, okay. So we finally broke out, huh? Because if you look at the weekly chart, I'm pretty sure, yeah, we had back-to-back red weeks. We were struggling. So ASTS, what, we're gonna go back up to $100? Potentially. This hammer candle is crazy. Yeah, I'd say first price target is the 93. Go test the highs before we reversed. Yeah, ASTS, I've seen you guys slapping it. Yeah, you guys are slapping this one differently. Now, yeah, this can go pump up to 93. Now that we've got, hold up, now we got this thing going. Look, we can check these out. Let's see what's doing. Oh, it's down a little bit. That's okay. I like that. I like that. That's okay. Yeah, we go see 93 because we broke out the EMAs, 4 hour chart. It's nice as well. Yeah. I like this. I like this. Again, wait for the pullback. Let it come down to touch the EMAs, maybe come down a little bit lower. Wait for any kind of consolidation. Don't buy at the highs. Let it come down a little bit and then spank it. Spank it more. FID says I think they're bringing Microsoft down to prep for the OpenAI IPO. That's also a good point. That's a possibility. Oh, ETH is moving. Are we back at 3.2? Yeah, we're back at 3.2. Oh, yeah, it's moving. We're back at 3.2 on ETH. So Bitcoin's at 93. Ooh, it's a good day for crypto. Yeah, I mean, realistically, you guys spent the whole year down. Crypto went from 125 to, sorry, Bitcoin went from 125 to 93. So it ain't nothing to celebrate yet. Let's reclaim 100 down. You can celebrate. Right now, Bitcoin getting whooped. Bitcoin been getting slapped up. Right? Let's be honest. Look at the higher time frames. That would tell the story. We're not celebrating being in last place. You need to move, man. All right. Ken just said INTC. I like INTC actually right now. Okay. It's repeating a previous pattern, pulling back the EMAs to burst out. I think again, we're pulling back the EMAs to pop out. So we'll probably go test the highs at least, yeah, close, at least, the close of these candles around $42. If we break that 43, it's coming back to the same spot, same previous spot where it reversed. INTC looked nice. INTC does look nice right now. And it had the 6% day on Friday. Cool. Look at the daily time frame as well. Okay, hold on. All right, we got a lot going on here. We got a lot going on here. Got a lot going on here. It's like we're kind of just, so we might go up there again. We might go test those high before we sell off again. INTC, 4 hours smooth as well. Bounce off the EMAs, took off. Yeah, keep those stocks coming, folks. This is what I like to see. RKLB, this one's a beast. It had a beast year. This was a $10, no, or like a $12 stock the first time we traded this one. I can't believe I never exercised the calls or bought shares. I just didn't know enough about the company. But realistically, yeah, it had the inverse head and shoulders and it just exploded out. I think it's still got room to run. Let's see what it's doing right now. Overnight hours. Rocket Lab. All right, cool. It's down a little bit. I like this. I like this when the stocks pull back a little bit, giving us a bit of space to get in. Yeah, RKLB could be something. You probably want to give yourself time on these contests. Probably 2, 3 weeks. That's what I'm talking about, 2, 3 weeks, not no weekly stuff. Um, my level broke my 61 level. Yeah, RKLB could go test 79. Um, Realistically, we are near the highs as well, so beware of that. The best time would have been to get in a couple weeks ago, honestly. But it's still got potential. It still has potential. Sometimes you think you're late, and you're never too late, right? People thought they were late here. Realistically, you're not. So good looks on that one though. Thank you, young Aber. Then Saints at SBet. All right, keep those stocks coming. Keep those stocks coming. Keep throwing them in the chat. Thank you. SBet now. This is a crypto or what? What's it? Why do you say? Let me see. Maybe forming a base. Maybe forming a base. Maybe forming some opportunity down here. Maybe it's showing me something very similar to Webull, isn't it? It's showing me something very similar to Webull. Yeah, okay. Maybe something. Maybe something. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, okay. You know what? SBet. Something similar, but we're still below the 21 EMA, so we might come down. But if this is, hold on. Yeah, okay, he said yeah, it's crypto. Yeah, so if it's crypto, then it doesn't matter about, yeah, it's already up 4%. So if it's crypto based, because they're starting the year by pumping up crypto. Remember they did it last year as well, and then everyone on Twitter was shouting, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, and then it sold off. They might be doing the same this year, but I think SBet, if it's crypto based, yeah, it's on the Nasdaq as well, so it might start the year by pumping. I like it. Oh, it moves with ETH, he says. Okay. I like it so far. Just, but it's struggled, man. Look at the downfall. This is a downfall to be studied. This is a crazy downfall. From, it's not even, what? This is a crazy downfall. $30 drop from July. Crazy. Yeah, Solana's struggling too, man. Yeah, them people had buy orders at 120. I know that much. Same as back in 2023, I believe. Then yeah, this year. What year is that? Well, that's even last year. Never mind. Crypto has been beat up. Crypto getting whooped differently. That's why I say don't go all in on crypto. I do not agree with anybody that says go all in on crypto, buy Bitcoin and just hold it, use Bitcoin as this. No, I think you're trying to you're just trying to pump it, and no. That's if you want to get whooped, look at this. If anyone put all their portfolio in crypto and Solana, Bitcoin, look how you get whooped from look 4 months straight getting whipped, getting destroyed. Come on, man. In the last quarter of the year, you would have got, right, you would have lost 20, 30% of your portfolio just messing with crypto. All right. IWM, Silent Strap, appreciate it. Yeah, so this is the Russell. Now, I said last week we would do a pullback. We have pulled back now. I still think looking at the weekly chart, I think more blood could be on the way potentially. I just don't know again. I don't know at what point we see a cleaner pattern. We had a run, we start to come down. Are we going back up? Are we coming down? I don't know. Again, this is like a perfect indication of the fear and greed index. This is like where I'm neutral because we're below the EMAs on the daily time frame, but we are also at a previous, reversal spot. Again, there's a reason I'm not messing with the I mean I hit it Friday. That was cool. I enjoyed it. But realistically, I'm not trying to mess with it right now, like too much. And because I'm back in my swing bag, this looks bearish to me. But again, it can still start coming up again. Previous bounce spot, right? So me, I'm not really messing with IWM like that. I'm not gonna lie. I swinged it last month a few times, got cooked. Sometimes it did okay. More time got cooked. So I'm not really trying to mess with IWM. Once the Russell gets booming, I think, we'll see 256. I've always been back in the Russell for a couple of years now, right? If you have my stock option starter pack, you've seen what we talked about in it. I talked about the Russell, talked about IWM. That was when it was trading at 100 and something. So yeah, I just not for me, right? Why would I go for IWM when XLE is doing this, right? XLE is doing this. XLE is showing me this consistency, right? XLE is showing me it's smooth. If I want to trade some ETF, I go to XLE, right? Up 3.6% right now. I'm not trying to whack, IWM. IWM is not really showing me what they want to show me. Um, BKR. What's this one? Baker Hughes. Okay. So let's see that weekly. Yeah, okay. So we finally reversed. We got confirmation of reversal. Weekly close above the 9. Daily time frame close above the 9 and 21. Probably got a bear bullish. Um, yeah, probably got some strength coming in here. Some bullish momentum probably going to kick in soon. Baker Hughes. And this is the nice thing about charting during overnight hours. We can just go and check. Oh, never mind. We're up there. I can also do this. Hold up. Yeah, we up there. So yeah, bullish, but I think we're a bit too late with it. HAL, shout out, take profit. Gonna make this one a big year for you. Um, all right, what is this? People out here trading $4,000 stocks. Halliburton. Now wait, what? Hold up. How they got 2 days? Same HL on the stock New York Stock Exchange. This is the right one, yeah. All right, cool. This one's up 16%. All right, I need to do my research on these because I don't know what is causing these ones to pump, but these ones are gonna make people some crazy money tomorrow. Offshore drilling. Oh, energy. Oh, these are energy. Oh, yeah, these are gonna make stupid money tomorrow. But we're late though. We're late. I'm not really gonna break it down because we're already late. Yeah, it's already pumping, so it is what it is. Um, Clean Spark, that's crypto as well. Traded this one a couple times in the past. Clean Spark's finally breaking out. Again, this is crypto related. So a lot of these crypto stocks are finally showing some strength, but it's like, bruh, you've been down for 2 months straight. You've been down for 7 months. This is like if you lose like 25 games in the NBA season and you win like three in a row and you're trying to show off. Like, come on, bro, you lost 25 in a row. This is kind of that kind of vibe. But yeah, you could still win a couple more games, still go hit, $12, go hit 12.75. Let me see what it's doing right now. Yeah, Clean Spot been getting whooped though. Yeah, up 7%. I mean, again, these ones, yeah, they could pump, they can, but I like to get in before you're up 7%, before you're up 14%, right? You just jumped up from, $10 flat to almost $13. Really? Do I want to jump in on a stock that's up 30%, almost 30% in 2 days? Probably not. But can it continue to go based on the technical analysis? Probably can, yes. Probably can, yeah. PG40 said Deta, Zeta. All right, this is more my vibe. Let me get. I'm catching you guys out and I'm looking at the how it's doing right now. All right, it's 4%. That's okay because you've been coming down. So we finished inside a week with Zeta. The reversal spot is right here. I'm gonna just mark that 22.14. That's the reversal spot. So that's my price target, really. We came out to the 9 on the daily. I like that. Go test 20, yeah, 22.40. I like this. I like this more than I like the other ones. All right. This is consistency. This is more consistent. All right, I like this. CIFR, Dan says the 1 day chart. So the daily time frame. Cool. We built a base, final level of support. I'm just gonna mark it right here. We built a base and we start to uptrend. We are at the 21-day EMA. Once we were at 21, sorry, back when we were at 21 EMA in December, we sold off. I don't know about this one. I'm gonna check out. Let me see what it's doing right now. CIFR. Is this crypto as well? Up 2%. Probably Cypher mining, data processing. Oh, okay. Minus. Okay, cool. This crypto as well. I know you guys have given me crypto. You shilling me crypto. Shilling them. Yeah, probably could pump back up to these levels here, $20. Again, crypto, the way crypto's been moving, if you don't get in on time, right, you see what happens. They make you chase. That's what crypto's always been. It make you chase. Give you the FOMO and then make you chase, you know. So yeah. Um, um, I like it based off the structure that it's showing, but I think me personally, a lot of these crypto stuff is just again, you're late. I'd rather touch energy. MBTS, okay. Semiconductors, right? This is more like it. The weekly is got a bullish engulfing. We broke the downtrend, we broke the red streak. We're starting to show signs of strength. Daily time frame, we come off the 200 EMA again, signs of strength. Close above the 921. I'll be honest, from what I see of MVTS, a little bit similar to those crypto stocks, you've been in a downtrend so long, it's like you do a little bit of a rebound, right? Again, you lose so many games, you do a little bit of a win somewhere. Even the worst teams win a couple games. Now, we probably go test 952, maybe the reversal spot over here. Yeah, yes, no, I'm gonna even move this one. I'm gonna move it right here, right? The rejection spot, the gap up spot, rejection spot. Yeah, I think this could be something. It finished 70% on Friday though. That's a big jump. So let me see what it's doing now, overnight hours. Probably up again, yeah, 4%. So a lot of these things are starting the year very bullish. So do beware of that. A lot of them are starting the year very bullish. Okay. SYM. Oh, I know this one had a great day Friday. We broke out of the base, right? We've hit my line of support on last week Monday, came out 9 and 21 and starting to cross. This is a nice setup. Probably up again over hours, just like overnight hours, just like a lot of the others. Yeah, up 1.59%. It's not crazy, but again, it's up a little bit. But we could go test this level right here. I'll mark this level for you. Right, we can go test that $77 level with the swings to the upside. You probably want a little bit of a pullback before that, but again, yeah, this is not bad, right? Because if you look at the higher time frames, we are look, we have pulled back, right? We were bullish, we have pulled back, and we're starting to maybe go again. So yeah, this is not a bad one. Thank you for that. Beyond BBAI Indie. So Beyond Meat, for me, trash, right? We're back at the previous support, but look, this was the fun right here. I did hit this one back in October. Hit it, right? Cool. I didn't hit the whole thing, but I got some piece. Now we're back at 88 cents. Like you playing with me, bro. We dropped from 77, sorry, we dropped from $7.70 to 88 cents. Come on, man, you're playing. Beyond Meat, yeah. This company was very interesting to trade during the pandemic. Me personally, I'm not touching it now. Below the EMAs on the daily, below the EMAs on the weekly, finish the doji. I'm personally not trying to touch that. It's up 2%. Yeah, but that's better. There's better plays out there. BBAI, Big Bear. This is pretty cool. So we've held the 200 EMA on a daily time frame. Bounce, 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 bounce. Cool. Once, twice, three, four. Close above the nine. There might be a little bit of wind in there. 4 hours, 4 hours starting to get active, starting to get active. Weekly broke out a downtrend, hammer candle. Okay. This ain't bad. Again, it's one of those penny stocks, not my favorite, but you suggested INDI as well. Another penny stock, okay. Similar setup. So the thing with these ones is like, me personally, the reason I don't trade them is because they always do this. They seem to do this a lot. They sell off quickly. They do have a nice run, but they sell off very quickly. And when they sell off, it gets nasty. Look at that. $6, we cut it in half, lost 50%. $4.82 down to 3.55, lost 20%. So I'm not, yeah. Yeah, these penny stuff, man, up 54% Friday. They're not, listen, they're not bad. I used to trade these almost 8 years ago now. They're up 21%. They're not bad. It's just that when you move, if you don't catch it near the bottom or before the gap up, you just have to, you're kind of like winging it. There's no technical analysis involved, right? You're kind of winging it, maybe using some fundamental analysis. It's tough to hit those ones. But I don't, like I said, they're not bad. They're just not my trading style anymore, especially as a swing trader. Hood. So I like Hood, you know. Especially this. Look, let me show you the weekly. So we came down to my 114 level multiple times. Okay, I like that. But realistically, look, I like that it came down to, hold on, let me just zoom out for you a little bit more. Zoop, zoop, zoop. So I like that we came down to the level a couple times, but weekly we're below the EMAs, right? We finally closed below the 21. The daily, it's kind of shape shifting to the downside. 4 hour as well, we're still below the 21. We've been below the 21 for a couple weeks now. I personally, if I was going to trade Hood, again, you need some time on those contracts. And I don't even think those contracts are that even that cheap anymore.
Long gone are the days when we were trading Hood at $38. That was fun. I'll tell you that much. That was fun. Um, but with the market, if the market pumps this week, Hood can probably pump. It's just that the contracts are expensive now. It's not the same as it was a year ago. Now you pay like $250 for $5 out the money. It's like that's ridiculous, right? Yeah. I mean, if we were going to trade Hood to the upside, which you can, right? Just again based on the 4 hour, then you got to look at, these price targets for me for sorry, 117 and 121. Yeah, again, just because of the price of contracts, the premiums, I'm personally not really like, like, oh yeah, I want to trade this, but I can see why you'd like to trade it. I can see why you like to trade it. If you catch it at the right place, right, it gets busy. You catch a $5 to $7 gain, right? $6 to $9 gain. Yeah, you'd make some good money. So not opposed to it. But yeah, not my direct preference right now. It is definitely something to watch though, if you are looking at it. JD, okay. Back to the Chinese stuff. So JD.com weekly bullish back-to-back green weeks. We're still way below the EMAs. Daily got a crazy hammer candle. Like they pushed price all the way down intraday. Wicked off the 9, the 21. Woof! JD took some. Yeah, let me see. Let's look at the lower time frames. So this is the 15-minute chart. For those of you who are new here, 15-minute chart. You can use this for your day trades. And now you see at open, we came all the way down to 200 EMA, a bounce and took off. That's pretty cool, especially because it gapped up overnight. So we gapped up from $28 to like, wait, what? How much did, bro, if they held it up here, JD could have had a monstrous day as well. So yeah, it gapped up overnight, came down, and then continued higher. If they had kept this one up there, this could have had a monstrous day. But yeah, I look at this, I'm like, they try and push this one down. If you want to trade a Chinese stock, I'd say don't go for JD, go for the Baidus and the Babas. That's probably going to serve you better. CMG, I reviewed this one yesterday. I think I put it in the chat. Real like it, really like it. 38.45, my first price target. I am still in my calls for CMG. Um, I'm thinking of just getting some more time. The good thing is we are up. We are up with CMG, and that's what matters, right? We're up. I think 48%. Friday at least it was 48%. We're up, right? We caught it at the right time. We're eating good. We've been in these since I think October because we were down. Yeah, 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 somewhere around here. So we've been in this since $31. So we've caught majority of the breakout. But guess what? We also suffered because we were down here. I remember I bought my contracts for like 128 bucks. Around here, they were like 72 bucks. And I was like, maybe you had to sell out. Before you know it, it broke out. We had a strong run. Contracts 190 dollars. Broke out again. Contracts are like $220, right? We've done our thing. So I think we're up like 48, 50% right now. But I like CMG. I think CMG's got some ground to gain. Right, we still got a gap to fill. But I think this year we could see CMG do some great things. So yeah, you know, I think we finished up last month like up 7%. Yeah, last month. This is last month, right? Yeah, I think we finished up 7% and November something similar. So yeah, I like Chipotle. I like this one. Okay. Um, Carver, are you with the food today? All right. Oh, similar story to Chipotle. Yeah, weekly is nice. Carver showing some signs of strength. We'll see what it does at this area. Last time we were at the 21 EMA, we rejected the sold off. We are back at the 21 EMA, retesting it again. Let's see if we can break out now. Go test, the previous levels of resistance back up at $92. That would be a great run for Carver. In fact, now that you've pointed this one out, I'd say definitely keep this one on watch because if you zoom out a little bit, you'll see Carver is down over 50% from its highs last year and also from the year before. So yeah, Carver, right? This is a good stock to look at. What are we doing overnight? If it's pulling back, that should be okay. It should pull back a little bit. Right, it's pulling back now slightly. Yeah, but I'd say, go to, the March contracts. Go get a $90, well, maybe not $90. Let's see. So this was July. We're at 90, so like 6 months. All right. So go to June. June contracts, $90, right? Probably cost you about maybe 150 to 200 bucks. I don't know how expensive they are. But yeah, June contracts, right? June, July, whatever. Just get some time on it, you know. Yeah, who knows? Just keep your eye on it. But there's stuff brewing for us this year. Trust me, there's stuff brewing for us this year. Um, just make sure, yeah, just make sure you just, how do I even say this? Like trade your setup. I know you guys want call outs and stuff. That's fine. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna still call the Nikes and say, yo, we're in Nike. We're in Nike. We're gonna catch these rallies, the CMG rallies, all those kinds, the barbers. We're gonna still catch those with the swing trades, but just trade your setup as well. If it's not your setup, leave it. Like the Tesla sold off. Everyone was in puts. Trade that setup then. We're all in put. So why should anybody take an L on this, right? If Tesla sells off for 2 weeks straight from $496 to 438, why should anybody take an L? This is our setup. This is all our setup. Break below the EMAs, def cross, breaking level support. This is all our setup. Why should anyone take an L on Tesla puts? Right? Trade your setup. Don't trade nobody else's setup. Trade your setup. Everybody trade their setup. Would have made silly money on this, right? Everyone put 150 into this, would have come out with 1400. Trade your setup. Palantir, trade your setup. Your set. Look, this consolidation, break below the EMAs, def cross, breaking all level support, lower highs, lower lows. This again, you put, I think it was $138 in the contracts, coming out with 1600, 1700, even at highs, 1900. Look, 20, bruh, 30, $30 drop on Palantir. Trade your setup. This is, look, these are the cleanest setup. We said it in the chat. So trade your setup. Call outs are great, but trade your setup, right? It doesn't matter what it is. Exxon, cleanest set. Come on, come on. This is money right here. Somebody in the chat said Exxon is at $130. You're telling me from 120 consolidation price point around the EMA is starting to build up to $130. Come on, there's money to be made. Look, come on. This is extended hours. I take extended hours off. You see it. Consolidation right here. Consolidation. Hourly building up for something. Boom, boom, boom. Come on, look at not a single red can on site. Don't fumble these stuff, man. You said, yeah, fumble Tesla. Yeah, man, Tesla was money. Come on now. But I've got my next trend lines. If we catch Tesla to the upside as well, you're going to see some silly returns. Oh, DVLT. No, we already did that one. Oh, ALLY. Ali. Okay, this is a nice setup on the hourly. The weekly, oh, it needs to come down though. The weekly, yeah, it needs to come down though. Anything to identify here? Uh, Not specifically, really. Not specifically, really. Yeah, I'll be honest. This ain't bad. This ain't bad, but daily. Okay, yeah, I see what you're seeing now. I see what you're seeing now. So we broke out, pulled back, and yeah, we could go head higher. Yeah, it ain't bad, but I think the reversal spot is close. We're close to reversal spot. We can still push. Yeah. Hmm. Let me see what Ali is doing overnight. Nothing crazy. Yeah, it could be something. They were saying earlier, CL, they were saying that it was down. Is that true? Man, it was down. It started the day down, but it bounced back. Right. Okay. I want to see it. I'm going to be looking at this Exxon like all night, man. I got shares, so actually it should reflect my portfolio. Let me check that. It should reflect, right? Because I got shares as well, so it should really show already, no? Oh, yeah. Wait, let me drop that, bro. What? Ooh, look at this Exxon. Hey, look at what I just put in the chat. Look what I just put in train discussion. Go look at that. Look at the portfolio, man. Wow. So, gosh, okay. The calls are gonna do silly numbers tomorrow. Go, everyone go look in training discussion right now. Look what I just put there. That's what I'm talking about. If you don't have, at least have shares, man. Come on. Gosh. We're gonna catch some plays this year. We're gonna catch some plays this year. We're gonna catch some plays this year. Trust me. All of us. Everyone go look in training discussion right now. That's what I'm saying. Hold shares as well. Even if you can just buy one, that's okay. $120 is quite a lot for if you know your account is small. That is true. But if you out here spending $122 on McDonald's or $122 on Air Force Ones or $122 on anything, then you can also, what do you call it? Save your money and put it into Exxon or whatever. Not just Exxon, but whatever. Who drawing on my screen right now? All right. Um, what's up, Shawnee? What's up, M Dash? What's up, Kendra? Nice to have you here with us. Crazy. Bruh. This is what I like to see though. Oh man. I knew it. I even said it Wednesday. I said this thing is consolidating. I should have just took some calls. It's okay. We're gonna catch some of these. We're gonna catch some. I'm optimistic. I'm good. Back in my swing bag. I'm focused. But everyone, you know the drill. Come on, focus on your setup. If it stops you out, it stops you out. But just like what I said at the beginning of the video, right? I think I said like four things. Clean setups only, risk management, stop loss, and take the profits, right? And decide what kind of swing trader you are, day trader you are, leap trader. It doesn't matter what trader you are. Please, just come on. There's money to be made in this market. Yeah. Yeah, we up for next. So that hold on, let me check CVX then, because CVX, these are going to be the oil. As long as they capture these kind of people, these Venezuelan guys and stuff like that, if Putin and all them, Netanyahu and all them get involved, it's gonna be up for these things, right? It's gonna be up. This one's up 10%. Hold on, how much is X? Wait, 172. Hold on. Wait, guys, hold on. CVX 172. So CVX is gonna be. Oh, hold up. Is that going to be at all-time highs or what? Where's CVX? I'm not as familiar with CVX as I am with XTOM. Okay, now it's not all-time highs, but hold up. We're going to be back at levels from 2023, from 3 years ago. CVX up 10%. How much XTOM up? Only 5%. Hold on. MRO. Some of these stocks are going to be going crazy. MRO. Did they change it? Oh, MPC. Why would you make it MPC? MPC. Oh, wait. No, my thing on. What? I don't know. Okay, so MPC up. So that's what I'm saying. Exxon can still go. Any of these can still go. Oxy's probably up like 8, 9% too then. Nah, 2%? All right. So this is where it kind of starts to get lost on me because how is Oxy only up 2%? But it's okay. Oxy is up right now less than it was on Friday. But these things are can boom, right? Jeez. That's what I'm saying. You want to spend $45 on Burger King. You can buy $45 on Oxy, bro, and then just eat. It's steady, slow but steady. I've been there because people like to say, oh, that's a lot of money for a small portfolio. It is, yes. I started out and I buy a couple shares. I bought one Meta, I bought like two AMD, bought, one whatever I bought back then. I think American Airlines. You can still afford it. You're spending $50 on Burger King every week, and then you say you can't buy one Oxy per month. You can buy one Oxy per month. You just don't want to, right? No one's asking you to buy a Berkshire Hathaway or a Tesla or nothing like that. Just, come on. There's money to be made here.